Well, welcome then guys to Urban Bait. I'm Dave Wright, I'm one of the guys that fishes for Urban. Bit of sort of history then, so I'm 40 years old. I absolutely love my carp fishing. Started off just, like many people as a youngster, just trotting a float down the river where I'm from in Essex. Got an older brother, so I watched him sort of catching him carp, and I was like, oh, I fancy a bit of that, so that sort of got me the buzz. So I popped down to my local lake, so I'm very lucky. I work for the Crown Estate, and I live in Windsor Great Park, so I'm fishing Obelisk Pond, which is just over 25 acres I believe. It's got some lovely old estate lake carp in here. So I'm here just for a few hours today, just try and nick a bit of a cheeky winter fish. It's not too cold today, but the water is like ice. It's freezing cold. So just going to run through then what I use from Urban. So I fish with a nutcracker, lovely bait, very sweet. Fish seem to be able to sort of eat it, process it, like it. So I'm using 15mm shelf life, and I'm using that as my sort of my free offerings around the hook bait. So I'm not after a tight baiting presentation. I'm not reinventing the wheel. I tend to sort of scatter 10, 12, 15 sort of boilies in and around the area of my chosen my spot. And then what I'm doing, so I'm fishing a little slip D rig. There it is, you can't see it great with my big fingers. So it's a 14mm wafter topped off with a fake maggot, which just looks a bit like a bloodworm. And then I've got a size 4 hook on there on the slip D rig. That is my presentation that I enjoy using at the moment. Find that in a moment. Where's it gone? There it is. So, like I say, I'm using the wafters, the nutcracker wafters from Urban Baits. Again, lovely. They just sit just nicely. I haven't got to sort of mess around putting any weight on the rig or hook link. They just sit just wafting lovely. So so when a fish sort of comes along and sucks it up, it goes straight in the mouth and the hook can turn. So that's my hook bait. What I'm doing is just tying up a little tiny PVA stick or mesh. There's a couple of boilies in there, one of them sort of whole, the other one sort of crushed up a little bit. So again, just a little mouthful. I'm not trying to sort of feed the carp. It's the wrong time of year yet, it's too cold. I'm just trying to sort of give them a little bit of something, a bit of attraction, a little mouthful of bait. They go, oh, I love that, and then hopefully they'll pick up my hook bait. And then what I'm doing, and then before I cast it out, just giving it a little dip in the nutcracker dip. Very sweet smelling, really nice. So that's what I'm doing. Hopefully I'll have a little fish to show you before long, but if not, we'll give it another go next time. So all the very best. So I just thought I'd run through my rig now then, and how I'm attaching my bait onto my hook link. So, like I said before, I'm using the Urban Bait nutcracker wafter. So just little 14 millers. So they wash out lovely, and then they look like the freebies that I'm fishing with. So grab one of them. All I'm doing is I'm just attaching it to my hook link with some bait floss. I like to use the bait floss when I'm casting out a fair distance, just so I know there's no chance. I tend to use the little bait screws as well, which are fantastic, but on sort of a bigger cast I just like to have that confidence in my head that the bait is definitely attached. So all I do is thread a little bit of bait floss through the little micro rig ring swivel. Try saying that when you've had a few drinks, like so. and then just pull that onto there with my baiting needle. Pull the 2 tag ends through like so. And then what I would do is I'll use a little fake maggot, little deep red one that looks a bit like a nice big fat bloodworm, and I'll use that as my sort of bait topper. So I just do an overhand knot like so, give myself a bit of a loop, and then feed that through like so, just so I've got something for the knot to tie down onto. And then we all have our little quirks. I have to tie everything off 4 times, so a couple more of them. That's 3, and that's 4. And all I then do, with a nice sharp pair of scissors, just trim that off. And I'll just use a lighter just to blob that bait floss down, just to keep it all neat and tidy. So then there's my sort of little rig presentation. So slip D rig again, little 14mm wafted nutcracker, topped off with a little rubber maggot, little fake maggot, and that's what I'm casting out into the lake. So let's see how we get on.